Ain't nothing as good as a render error in the morning. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jens and today I'm gonna make a continuation video on the previous video what I did where we created a QR code. Now for those of you who haven't seen it, you can click down, I'll leave the link in the description where you can just look at the previous video. But if you already know how to do it, it would be fine. So basically what we've done so far is we've learned how to generate a QR code using an API from rapidapi.com. For those of you who want to know, this is what we're going to be creating at the end of this video. It's basically the same as the previous video that I did. The only difference is we're going to create a user, and with the information, email, name and password, we are going to Firebase will generate a UID for the user, and we're going to use that UID to create a QR code. So all we're going to do today is create a user using Firebase as the database manager, and then with the UID created for that user, you will also create an image with a QR code linked to the ID of the user. And then basically what we're also going to do is save this picture, this image, with Firebase. Rather than just having a link on the internet, you would create a database with all the images of all your user QR codes. So yeah, let's get into that. So as you can see here, for those of you who watched the previous video, I have the same code as what I had before. I haven't changed anything yet. I will leave a link down in the description if you want to get this code from GitHub, from my GitHub account, and then you can code along with us. So all that I'm going to do now is firstly I just want to go to the pubspec.yaml file, and I want to add a few. I added a few more packages. Number one would be, I think, the Flutter Catch Manager. I also got the Cloud Firestore that you have to get, Firebase Database, Firebase Authentication, and Firebase Storage, where we're going to store our QR codes. So make sure you have these packages installed. For those of you who don't know how to incorporate Firebase into your applications, I'll quickly go through the steps of how to link your app with Firebase. But if you already know, you can skip ahead a few minutes. So one of the first things that you would need is under Android and build.gradle, make sure that you have Google services under the dependencies. So you would write class path, and then what you would write is com.google.gsm Google services, and the version 4.3.3. There we go. That's fine. Next thing you want to do is go under app and another build.gradle file, and here at the bottom you also want to make sure that you have Google. So you just say apply plugin, and you say com.google.gsm .google services. There we go. I also want to just change this target version to 29. I see Android has a new version. Also make the minimum SDK 21, and also the compiled version 29. So if you finish that, you also just want to make sure that under source, make sure that your Gradle properties, that you have Jetafire set to true, and Android X also set to true if you don't have that. So how we would use Firestore in this case Basically, all you have to do is go to Firebase, the main website of Firebase, and then you just create a Google account or link your Google account to a Firebase account. And then what you want to do is just say create a new project and just go through the steps. Once you finish these steps, what you want to do is go to Firebase's main website and link your Google account to a Firebase account or create a new one. And all you have to do basically after that is click on create a new project. So I've just clicked on create a new project, and first what you want to do is just create a name for your project. Let's call it QR generator. There we go. And there we go. Let's just keep it all small. Once you click continue, just click on next, select an account, just create a default, use your default account, and once it's creating, so here we have here I have my new application. So once you're in your application, all you want to do now is you want to link your app with Firebase. So for now we're just going to click on Android, and here you have to click in your application name, and you will find that under the build.gradle, if I'm not mistaken, or yeah, so in your main source and main part, in your Android manifest, here where it says package, this is the name of your application. So you just copy that and paste that in there, and you could give it a nickname, and all we have to do now is register app. Once you've registered, all you want to do is download this JSON file, and make sure to keep this file as safe as you possibly can, as anyone who gets this file, this is basically the key to your database. So if someone gets their hands on it, they could use it in their applications or do whatever they want with it. So now that I've downloaded it, what you want to do is paste it down here in your source, in your app and source. So you want to paste it in the same place as this build.gradle file. Here I have my Google services.json file, and now that that's finished, all you want to do is just tap here on next, and next for now. You don't really, for this example I'm not gonna go too much into detail, but just the basics. You can skip this step for now, and that's basically it. So now that we have this, all we really need to do is go here to Cloud Firestore, and this is where your data would be stored, and you click on create a database, and we're just gonna do it in test mode for now. And what we can, you have to click in the area that you are, enable. Alright, so that's finished. Now your database should be pretty much set up and ready to go. So all you have to do now is you just have to activate the create user, where you could basically create a user. So to do that, go to authentication, and there where it says sign in methods, all you want to do is enable your, for now I'm just going to do the email and password, but if you go down the list, there's so many ways how you could activate your cell phone number, Google accounts, Facebook, Twitter, any account. But for now we just want to make use our email and password to create an account. So that's set now, and all we want to do now, so I'm just going to go back here, and let's go back to our main app. So now how you would usually create a user is you create a sign up page and enter all your information, and as you click on sign up, it should take you to the the home page or the main page of your application. But for now, I'm just gonna make something very easy. Basically, I'm gonna take my main page, and once you click on create QR, it's basically gonna create a user. So all you need to do is create a separate file for your all your user management. So let's call it user management, and in this user management, I'm just gonna import material, and we're just gonna create a class user management. All right. Oops. No, I just don't want to create like that. There we go. And inside this class, you just want to say create user, and for this I'm just going to take 3 parentheses, and that will be user, context, and name. I'll explain this later on, but yeah, that's all we need to create our user. That's what we're going to do in So here in the main part of your app, you want to, we are not going to create the QR code here in the main part of the app. We want to create it as we add features to the user. So I'm going to delete this function for now and just basically paste that in the create user. I will change these things now. And at the bottom, I just want to delete this part. Also, we don't have to write create QR, we can say create user. And also we can probably delete this button down here. Just see here. Okay, there we go. So if we click on this button, we should be able to create a user. Now all we want to do, I'm just going to make 3 text fields here. So all I'm going to do, and we don't have to, for this video I'm not going to use a different color for the QR codes. So I'm just going to take out this whole part over here. Just see here, I think that's right. And I just want to create 3 of these text fields. So just paste that another 2 times. Ooh. So I'm just going to quickly change some of this code. You can follow along if you want to just change the layout a little bit and then explain afterwards. So let me get into that. Alright, so the first thing that we will need is we would need a QR code. So once we've generated a new user with a UID, all we need is to make the QR code first. So the function is very similar to what I've done before. I'm just going to copy and paste it and explain a little bit how it works for those of you who didn't see my previous video. So I'm just going to copy all of these files over here. So basically what's happening here is I'm creating a I'm calling the API and setting it to a variable. Then the response would be a QR code image link made up of all of these properties, and the only one that we would be changing is the text would be the user.uid. Here you just add your header, and at the end what we're going to do is let's just see over here. Firstly, we need to create a file. So how we create a file is we call await default cache manager. Ooh, let me just. So once we've made the QR code, we want the link to that QR code, and we want to basically save it in our database as a separate file image. So how we're going to do that is first, Alright guys, so there was a few mistakes that I made. One of them was in your Android manifest file. You just have to remember to add under the applications here, you have to add this metadata, which basically is your API key. So this one just says you have this one just gives you access to your Firebase account. You here where it says API key, you just have to copy and paste your API key. And as well, another problem that I saw that was here in the init state in your main function, you just have to set this to a set state, these two values, so as you load up your new page, it automatically will change the values. And also one thing that in your user management, remember here to also add your, as you're adding your details to the Cloud Firestore, remember to add the UID as well. So right beneath the download URL, or you can also just say user.uid, so that you store that value as well. That's all for it. Let's see if everything is working correctly. So if I just put in an email here, let's say joe@email.com, enter a password 123456 and username Joe. Then let's click on create user, and it should create a user down here. There we go. Okay, so let's see what happened here. So if we go back to our database and just refresh it, we can see. So firstly, what happened, it created a user with the names, with the name and email and password, and then you added the values to your Cloud Firestore. But before you did that, we here in our user management file, we made a QR code. Now where this is stored is here. If you go down to storage, let's see here, get started, done. It should be in here in your cloud storage. So this is where you can store images and things like that. You're limited to 5 gigabytes, I think. But anyway, yeah, there we go. So if you go under user QR codes, the last one that I've created here is set to your UID. So if you scan this, you would receive the UID back. And basically what you did is you if you go here in your Cloud Firestore, this link over here is the link from your Firestore and not from the API. So yeah, if you enter this, you will get, here's your QR code. So now that we have that, we've linked it to our user. We can do this, do many things with this functionality. Mainly if you want to access certain information, or if you want to scan in or scan out someone, you could use this by scanning the QR code. So for my next video, what I want to do is just show you how to implement the scanning function and how to scan from the database. That is it for this video. Thank you guys very much for watching, and please like this video if you want to see more videos like this in the future. If there's any problems or if you find anything difficult, please comment down below and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. See you in the next video. Bye bye.